The European Union, that grand experiment in unity, is once again stumbling over its own feet. Member states are bickering like relatives fighting over a grandma's inheritance, each more frustrated than the last. But while Brussels tries, and mostly fails, to hold it all together, some nations are having a bit of fun watching the chaos unfold. Italy, for one, seems to be enjoying the show. One of the latest squabbles in the EU revolves around retaliatory tariffs against the US. Brussels, in a fit of defiance, wants to slap tariffs on American goods. But Giorgia Meloni, Italy's firebrand Prime Minister, thinks this is a terrible idea. Why? Because basic economics. Her message to Brussels is simple: mess with the US, and you're only hurting yourself. She's warning that if the EU picks this fight, they might end up with inflation, economic stagnation, and a bunch of very angry business owners wondering why their wine, cheese, and luxury cars suddenly aren't selling as well. But hey, if the EU wants to dig itself into a hole, Italy's perfectly fine sitting back with a glass of wine and watching. Speaking of questionable decisions, France and the UK are tossing around the idea of sending troops to Ukraine as peacemakers. A noble thought, except for the part where it could spiral into World War III. Meloni, being the voice of reason, has firmly rejected the idea. Before the Italian Senate, she called the plan complex, risky, and ineffective, which is a nice way of saying, have you lost your minds? Italy has made it clear that their troops won't be marching into Ukraine anytime soon. Instead, Meloni is backing a US-led initiative to broker a ceasefire. A novel idea using diplomacy instead of troops. Who knew? Meloni and Donald Trump seem to be vibing on the same wavelength these days. They both believe that cutting off Russia isn't a smart move, and they both think diplomacy is a better way forward than endless war. Trump has even floated the idea of bringing Russia back into the Group of Eight, the G8, calling its removal a mistake. And guess who's nodding along? Yep, Meloni. Their growing camaraderie has led to Italy keeping its distance from some of the EU's grand defense plans. While France and the UK are flexing their military muscles, Italy is leaning more towards diplomacy. And honestly, given how well military interventions have gone in recent history, looking at, Iraq and Afghanistan, maybe they have a point. Italy's independent streak isn't sitting well with the EU, but Meloni doesn't seem too bothered. She's playing her cards carefully, keeping Italy's economy in check while sidestepping Brussels' more questionable moves. Meanwhile, the EU continues to flail about, trying to prove its relevance, while its member states bicker over trade, war, and economic policy. And Italy? Well, Italy is just sitting back and watching the circus unfold, knowing that sometimes the best strategy is simply not to get involved.